What if I told you one of the cleanest, clearest, and most transparent Bible translations is one that not very many people know about and is not talked about very often? And that is the Berean Standard Bible. And you might be surprised at how much this translation has to offer while staying under the radar. Everybody, thanks for joining me on this episode of the Bible Tidbits YouTube channel, where we talk about Bible translations, Bible study, theology, and all things related. So if you're into that kind of stuff, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But now, back to the Berean Standard Bible. First, we need to talk about what is the Berean Standard Bible, or the BSB. So this Bible comes from the Berean Translation Project, you could say, the Berean Bible Project. And what it aims to do is to be clear, simple to read, and very transparent in how it translates, but also freely accessible to anyone. See, unlike many translations that are backed by big publishers, the BSB is independent. That means there's no big marketing pushes, there's fewer printed editions, and it has less exposure in bookstores, which is probably the biggest reason many people don't know about it and have never heard of it. But beneath the radar is a surprisingly well-developed translation that has a growing digital presence. Probably the biggest strength behind this translation is its transparency. See, it is committed to transparency. The translation committee created a system where readers can easily see the language underlying what they translated. So they can go back and to see the original languages, where it came from. They can compare the underlying words, and there's multiple tiers to this translation. So you can see a more literal version and a more paraphrased, thought for thought version of it. So that doesn't mean, though, it's overly technical or academic. It's actually the opposite of it. It stays clear and readable, but invites you to go deeper if you want to. And it's a translation that doesn't hide its work. And actually, I was on the website earlier today, and it said that if you had thoughts or recommendations for the translation committee based upon the languages, all their work's available, they're happy to hear from you. And this translation is a surprisingly readable translation. And that's why many people end up sticking with it. It has very smooth sentence flow, clear vocabulary, simple phrasing, and a natural feel to most readers. Whenever I was reading my copy of the BSB after I got it, that was the biggest thing I got was, this is a familiar translation, but it's obviously different than translations that I read often. It felt close to home, but not too close to home, so I knew it was something different. See, this Bible, it fills a unique middle space that a lot of people find refreshing once they give it a chance. So why is the BSB so underrated? Well, first off, it has low visibility. There's no Crossway, there's no Zondervan, there's no Lifeway backing it. There's no big publishers behind it. It is just barely appearing upon the market, but it's very prevalent online. Number two, it doesn't have a giant ecosystem. There's no big study Bibles. There's no flagship editions, though Humble Lamb is working on some special editions. And there's no big endorsements for the BSB. Number three, many people aren't aware it even exists. If you're one of those people, make sure you comment down below, because now you know about a new translation. And when people choose a Bible, they pick what they see at their church, what they see in stores. And the BSB rarely has that chance. And then number four, it has a digital first strategy, and that keeps it out of sight to most people. Online readers love it, but print Bible people rarely run into it. So this combination of all these points makes it one of the least discussed translations, despite having so much to offer. So who is the BSB right for? Well, it shines for people who value clarity, has straightforward sentences, consistency, which is awesome in a Bible that's not necessarily pointed to being super word for word literal, but it's very consistent and has familiar patterns and phrasing. It's transparent. The notes and structures show the thinking behind the translation. And it's accessible. It's easily found online for free. And you can go to their website that I will link down below, and you could download Word documents of varying styles. You can edit the Word documents yourself, maybe give yourself some margins, print it out, have a wide margin, use it for scripture journals. It's so accessible online. And it's also great, though, for readers who want a translation that feels fresh but not experimental. It feels refined when you read it. In this project, it's open and it's shareable and it's so easy to use, and it's an excellent resource for missionaries. It's for small groups. You have church handouts, Bible study tools that you might be making, digital reading plans. You can use this translation for all of that because it's so widely available. So how does the BSB compare to some other major translations? Well, compared to the ESV, it feels more smooth and maybe less formal than the ESV does. It's more consistent in some of the phrasing, and it's generally slightly easier to read aloud, I think. Compared to the CSB, it's simpler in style, it's less interpretive shaping of the language, and it's more straightforward in its sentence flow. And compared to something like the LSB or the NASB, it's easier for newer readers. It's less specialized in language, less theology terms, you might say. It has a more natural rhythm for everyday reading. So overall, on this Bible, it's not trying to replace these translations. It fills a different spot entirely, I think. It's a clean, transparent, highly usable translation that doesn't bring a lot of attention to itself. So, is the Berean Standard Bible the most underrated Bible translation? Honestly, I think it is. Okay, it combines clarity, consistency, transparency, and accessibility in a way that almost no other translation does. And it deserves, I think, far more attention than it gets. And if you've never tried it, it might be a great time to look at it. So, have you tried the BSB, the Berean Standard Bible? If you have, let me know your experience down below. And if you haven't, I want to hear from you too. And make sure you subscribe for more deep dives into translation and Bible study tools. So I thank you for joining me. I hope to see y'all next time.